Okay, so let's talk about this COPPA situation that's been developing over the last couple of weeks. Now, the reason I didn't tackle this particular topic up until this moment is because last week I actually got really sick. Like, I'm talking, I was in bed for about 48 hours sick. And if you know me, then you know that me staying in bed despite being ill is something that is very rare. Like, even if I have like a high fever, I'll still be stumbling around because I'm an idiot. I don't spend that much time resting in bed because I find it boring. I just instantly get back up whenever my brain is halfway alert and I just need to do something, whether it is play a video game, watch a movie, create content. Doesn't matter. I'm always doing stuff. I don't tend to sleep that many hours, and I most definitely don't tend to stay in bed when I'm sick. That's just the way that I'm built. So 48 hours in bed, it's something really unusual for me. But then after that, I started playing Pokemon because I wanted to get my opinion formed on that game, and also I've been having fun playing Pokemon, so I've kind of been busy with that. But over the last couple of days, I've been looking more into this topic, and I figured it was time that I would throw my hat in the ring here, so to speak. Now, the COPPA, for those of you that don't know, yeah, the two of you in the back, because, I mean, everybody's been talking about this, so at this point, most people should be familiar with what COPPA is. But it's basically a law. It's called the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, I think. Not sure if it's privacy protection or protection of privacy, whatever. But you guys get the idea. It's basically a law that is designed around people not being able to collect information from children so that they can then do targeted advertisement for those children, because children are easily impressionable, and that is kind of like the crux of the law. It is to avoid the exploitation of the easily impressionable brain of children, and this is not a new law. Not by any stretch of the imagination. This law has been around since like the 1990s. According to the game theorists, if I remember correctly, one of the videos that I saw from them, they said this was like from 1998. So this has been around for quite a while, and it is actually the main reason why whenever you sign up for a website, whether that is YouTube or a forum or something, you'll usually see that there's like an age gate there that says, hey, you got to be 13 years old or older in order to sign up for this website. That's like the age cutoff gate for COPPA. Like, if you're older than 13 years old, then you can be exploited by your corporate overlords. They're okay with that. But if you're younger than 13 years old, they want to make sure that they protect your feeble brain. And now you guys may be wondering, well, why is this relevant in 2019? I mean, if the law's been established in 1998, and if the websites all have the 13-year-olds age gate, and YouTube itself also has an age gate that supposedly, safeguards them against this kind of problem, then why is this being brought into the limelight at this particular point in time? Well, you see, earlier this year, YouTube has apparently lost a court case against the FTC, or the Federal Trade Commission, which is an American entity that regulates a lot of internet dealings, basically. And they settled this case to the tune of $170 million that YouTube had to pay to the government. But you see, as per usual, whenever YouTube takes a hit, they like to bring their creators along for the ride. So you guys remember whenever there were the copyright problems, YouTube basically said, hey, man, we ain't dealing with that stuff ever again. You want to do a copyright claim? Do it directly to the people uploading the videos, which created the amazing Content ID system that we see on the website today, which is incredibly accurate and totally never gets exploited by people who have no business whatsoever claiming someone else's content. No, that just doesn't happen. So I totally trust YouTube to do a really good job with determining which content is for kids and isn't for kids. Yeah, we all know that this is going to be a complete crapshoot, and that YouTube's short bus AI is going to basically destroy a lot of people's livelihoods out there. That's just the way this goes. But before we dive any deeper into the consequences of the COPPA law situation and the way that YouTube is handling it, I figured we should take a look at what has brought us here. And as far as I can tell, there's 4 major factors, some of which I haven't really seen a lot of people talk about. But basically, we have old media, government of incompetent boomers, corporate greed, and bad parenting. No, wait, I shouldn't say bad parenting, shitty parenting, okay? These are the 4 main reasons why we find ourselves in this situation. So let's go a little bit deeper. Old media. What exactly do I mean by old media? I'm talking about television. because you can bet your ass that television is behind a lot of what is happening right now. Because television can't handle the fact that there's a lot of people out here in this platform creating content, and they happen to be more successful than a lot of TV channels. Because TV channels are these lumbering behemoths when it comes to their production values and the salaries and all of this stuff that they got to do. And they can't handle the fact that there's someone out there in the world that is doing a better job than they are, and they're alone. It's just one man operation, one dude, one computer, one webcam, some editing software, and he's doing a better job than a lot of TV networks out there. And they can't handle it. They're just like, they're bewildered. They're foaming at the mouth. They're frothing at the mouth at this concept. They're like, how can these people be doing this? And how can they be making a living from doing this? I can't take it. And they're just like spurging out. Okay? And so they go up to all of these government agencies who they've been having dealings with for years on end. And they go up to these government agencies like, hey man, you guys should investigate those YouTubers, man. Those YouTubers, they're messing with the minds of our children. You need to investigate them. You need to see what's going on there. And then what do these people find? For starters, we should mention that these people that they are reporting to, these government entities, are full of boomers that have no friggin' idea how the internet even works. You're talking about people that probably don't even have a smartphone in 2019. And understand, I can understand if you are someone that, you can't afford a smartphone. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about someone who works for the fucking government, okay? They have a hell of a budget, and they make decisions based around technology, and they don't even have a goddamn smartphone, okay? They're talking about people that probably don't even know how to log in to see their goddamn emails. They probably have some kind of a secretary or something like, hey, Stephanie, can you check that electronic mail thing? Ah, gosh, I sure miss back the day when we had actual letters made from actual paper. All this technology is making me go crazy. These are the type of people that are making decisions based around stuff like net neutrality, based around stuff like the COPPA law, okay? These are the types of people that are making these decisions for you. Not to mention, I should also say that these people are incredibly, ridiculously nearsighted, okay? Like this friggin' guy.
The expression about shooting fish in a barrel. And YouTube is the barrel, and the content creators are the fish. And so it's a place where this content is centralized, and essentially it's easy for us to find.
Going up there, I don't know if it was on national television or whatever. I think everybody's seen the video of the guy that's going up there like, it's gonna be like shooting fish in a barrel, where YouTube's the barrel and the content creators are the fish. And it's like, oh really? Oh really, Mr. Boomer? Well, tell you what, you go right ahead and you sue everybody. No, just do it. Just really do it. Because here's the thing that your nearsighted idiocy isn't really noticing, and that is going to be the economical impact of the content creation industry at this point. Like, you get rid of, like, say, I don't know, 30 to 40% of the channels on YouTube that are doing kids content or whatever, because these channels are wildly popular. These channels are making bank straight up. And I will talk about some of these channels because there's a couple of things that I would like to say about that too. But regardless of that, okay, let's just say you get rid of like 40% of those channels, not even all of them, just like 40% of them from this industry, and you're gonna see what type of economical impact that is going to have on your national economy. You'll see, it's like you don't understand how many people these people are employing to make these videos, okay? There's gonna be a lot of people out of a job. There's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna lose purchasing potential, and you are going to see your economy go down the drain, you nearsighted, moronic boomer, okay? But anyway, let's get into the corporate greed portion of this. So YouTube did make the 13-year-old age gate, didn't they? Yeah, they did. And then they created YouTube Kids, so that if you wanted to have like the kids section of YouTube and you wanted to put your YouTube watching kids, you should be downloading the YouTube Kids app. I've never touched the YouTube Kids app, I'm being completely honest. I don't really mess with that stuff. But that's where your kids content should be. But eventually YouTube realized, well, kids are still just going to the main website. They're still going there. So they start bragging to advertisers. They're just like, oh man, dude, we got the eyes of all of these impressionable kids. It is the main destination, the main online destination for most of these really young kids. And there were even like specific ages in some of the quotes. I saw some of this stuff on the Game Theorists video, which is it's a really bad idea. You're basically bragging to your advertisers about how you're breaking the law. Good job. I mean, you're basically bragging about like, oh man, look at all these children we have watching us. It's like, yeah, good job, you idiot. And not to mention that on top of this, YouTube themselves are pretty much heavily promoting a lot of people that I would consider to be bad actors. Like, I'm just going to bring up the Paul brothers just as a very easy example. Because why? Well, they're super family friendly, supposedly. They don't really curse a lot in their videos, I would assume. I don't know. I don't watch the Paul brothers content, but I can tell you right now that YouTube heavily pushes their content. You want to know why? Because I know about them. The simple fact that I know about the Paul brothers should speak volumes, because I don't watch that much YouTube videos, and the few YouTube videos that I watch are usually within my bubble of content consumption, which usually revolve around gaming or, movies and a couple of more entertainment interests that I might have. And yet somehow my YouTube homepage is always flooded with the Paul brother videos. Like, they're always up on there. Like, I don't touch them. I don't hit them. I hit the thing that says I'm not interested. I don't want to look at this. They still pop back up. They still keep showing up all the goddamn time. They just show up in there like it's nobody's business. And this was the case up until one of the Paul brothers messed up and he showed a dead body on one of his vlogs, which consequently was manually confirmed for the trending page of YouTube, which that was hilarious. And then they're like, oh no, it was automatic. Nobody would ever put a dead body on trending here on Team YouTube. We would never. These children's channels showing dead bodies on YouTube. Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. But anyway, that's the corporate greed portion of my argument. And then we have the bad parenting. Let me tell you something, and let me be strictly honest with you. If you are relying on YouTube's algorithms to decide the content that your child is watching on YouTube, you're a fucking idiot. Actually, worse. Not only you're a fucking idiot, you're a terrible parent. Like, that's what I gotta tell you. I mean, you literally put your kids on YouTube and you let them just like go through the algorithm and just like go deeper into rabbit holes and shit like that, where they end up on those kinds of really freaky channels where Spider-Man was having a baby with Princess Elsa and it was some really creepy shit. That's the type of parenting that you're doing. You're allowing your children. This is your job. It's not a content creator's job to raise your kids. Okay, I'm a father. I know what I'm talking about. I have 2 children. Okay, and there was this one time where my kid was watching a video. I always pay very attention to the types of videos my child is watching. And he was watching this video on one of these channels, these kids-friendly channels, some of these channels that I personally consider to be bad actors. You can say whatever you want about these channels, but I don't know exactly who the creator is, and I don't want to put them on blast. I don't care. Okay, but this was the video was very specific. There was this really big egg, and it was covered in Play-Doh, and I think it had an art of Tinkerbell. There was like a Tinkerbell sculpted in Play-Doh, glued around this egg. And the video was about the person slowly peeling off the different layers of Play-Doh, slowly revealing the egg, and then the egg was full of toys. And so my kid had already watched like 1 or 2 of these videos because I was naturally monitoring my kid's interaction with YouTube. And I noticed, like, dude, my kid is so focused on this goddamn video. This is completely insane. And so I'm like, okay, let's watch something else. It's like, no, I gotta see what's inside the egg, Daddy. I need to see what's inside the egg. And I realized that my child was basically like, it took him like 2 videos to get addicted on a ridiculous, like, primal level on his brain, that he needed to see what was inside the video. And I was like, nah. I cut that shit right off. I was like, nah, kid, you ain't watching that video. You can watch something else. You can watch, like, I don't know, these cartoons over here or something, but you can't watch that egg video no more. He literally turned to me and he said, Daddy, I hate you. And this is usually the point where parents tend to fold like cheap lawn chairs and they let their kids watch these videos. And I just said, no, hate me all you want. Hate me all you want, but I'm not going to let you watch another one of these videos. And I told my wife specifically, like, you are never to let him watch another one of these egg videos ever again. Because some of the videos that are on YouTube, they're designed in a way that appeals to children in a very primal way. Now, look, if you want to let your kid watch that stuff, that's completely up to you. But see, I did my job as a parent. Something that I didn't agree that my child should be watching, I went in there and I said, you're not watching this anymore. He said he hated me, all that stuff, because children are very emotional. Like they'll say they hate you at the drop of a dime. They'll say they hate you if you didn't put salami on their sandwich. Like it's completely irrelevant whether or not, a 4-year-old thinks he hates you. That doesn't matter. So you got to not fold. You got to be a good parent to your child and see that if there is a content that he's consuming that you don't agree with, you don't let him watch the content. That is your job. That is not the content creator's job. And some of you might be like, well, but government regulation comes in and, they'll get rid of some of these bad actors like that egg channel that you're talking about. It's like, no. Because like I said, that's my job. My job. I will fight to the death for every creator's right to create whatever the hell they want. Most stuff like these egg videos, I'm like, yeah, sure, create them. Do them all you want. Okay? And I will fight to the death for your right to create those videos, but I won't want my child to watch them. But I also don't want the government stepping in and saying, no, this video is okay, this video is not okay. No. Because for starters, like I said earlier, that same government is full of incompetent boomers that don't even own a goddamn smartphone, okay? They have no idea how technology works. They have no idea how this website works. They probably don't even have the concept of how many hours of video are uploaded per minute onto YouTube. That's how dumb these people are. So I don't want them making decisions for what my kids can and cannot watch. I'll make those decisions for them. That is my job, okay? And then there's also the simple fact that even for the parents out there, they're like, oh no, I'm glad the government's stepping in, it's intervening and taking care of business. Yeah, get rid of all these bad actors out here. You imbeciles have allowed national television to do the exact same thing to your children for years. Years. Because all of this stuff that you're complaining about on YouTube is happening right now on your Saturday morning cartoons. Particularly now around Christmas time, go see how many toys advertisements and how many other children-directed advertisements are playing in between each of your child's cartoons. Like, I know that most of you guys probably turn on the TV, you put your kids in front of your TV, and they're just like sitting there watching whatever cartoon happens to be going on in Saturday morning, and you're probably either browsing through your phone or you're too busy in the room banging your wife while they're watching cartoons. I don't know what you're doing with your life, okay? But just for a change of pace, okay, just for a change of pace, sit down with your child. Take a look at the cartoons they are watching. For starters, look at the message that some of those cartoons are putting out there, because cartoons, I've been watching a lot of them because of my children. And good God, if cartoons haven't changed. For the worse. For terrible. Like, most of today's cartoons are just completely and utterly atrocious and teach our children nothing. Nothing. And what they do teach is wrong. But that's like a whole nother subject. But on top of that, in between each of those cartoons, there's going to be about 10 to 50 toy ads. That's the same thing that people are doing on YouTube. Probably less. YouTube is probably doing it even less. All of that targeted advertisement that is being done by television straight into your children, and you're allowing it because it's old media, because it's been around for a while. But then old media goes around and they're little, their little news articles and stuff, and they're talking about the big bad YouTubers, the influencers who are bought by the industry that they happen to be working in. Oh, they're sponsored and they don't disclose it and all of this. Blah, blah, blah. It's all nonsense. It's all nonsense, and it's lies designed to keep you watching television. And that, again, in my opinion, that's one of the major reasons why all this stuff is being pushed, because old media can't handle it. They go cry to the government, and the government comes in with their boomers And they're just like, oh yeah, man, we gotta regulate that shit. We gotta regulate that shit. Well, bring it. Friggin' bring it. No, go ahead. Shoot those fish in the barrel. Go right ahead. See the impact that's gonna have on your economy. I can't wait to see what happens. I really can't. Like, I don't want this to happen. I don't want people to lose their livelihoods and their income and all this stuff. But you do get to a point where you're just so sick of this nonsense that you're just like, you know what? Let them friggin' do it. Just do it. Go right ahead. Go sue everybody for $42,000 per video. Hell, sue me. Go ahead. I'll tell you right now, I ain't paying a friggin' dime. Come get me in Portugal. Come fucking do it. I triple dare you. Get the FBI next to my house. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Huh? Cause it's just so friggin' dumb, dude. Because like you can totally see, my videos are not directed towards children. I've never done it. You go to my analytics, and it's like 90-something% is between 18 and 35. That's like my biggest chunk of the market that I have for myself is 18-35. And most of it is above it. Because most of the 13-year-olds and below are watching like the Fortnites. They're watching like the most popular games possible on Twitch. They all want to be YouTubers and they want to play Fortnite every day and do the floss dance and all this other nonsense. And it's like, I'm not saying that we need to monitor these Fortnite channels. I'm saying that as a parent, you need to monitor your children. You need to educate you. That's your job. The moment you become a parent, that literally becomes a job. Like, I don't know what else to say. This is a ridiculous situation. It's just so bad. And YouTube, as usual, is handling the whole thing atrociously. It's like, oh yeah, we're going to mark everything, and then we're going to go by with our algorithms, which are so accurate, and we're going to determine the stuff that is and isn't for kids. It's like we've already had a false positive. Within my very small, tight-knit community, I've already had a false positive. I've seen Upper Echelon Games got one of his videos. It was something that had nothing to do with kids. And it was manually confirmed for kids. It's like, what? Upper Echelon gamers? Really, for kids? YouTube, get real, YouTube. Get your short bus sale. Jesus Christ. There's nothing else to say. This is a terrible situation. I know that I'm laughing at it because, once you've been around YouTube long enough, you've taken so many hits that you can't avoid but laugh at it. I'm laughing at this in a very much a George Carlin way, where George Carlin, if you've ever followed George Carlin, if you watch them as a comedian, you would know that it's like he was aware of all the problems that are in the world, but he was also aware of the fact that, like, dude, I can't do anything about solving this. I'm just going to sit back and watch. I'm just going to sit back and watch the chaos unfold. And that's what he did. And he made jokes about it. Because, and through that, he actually made a lot of people's lives better. And it's just, to be honest, I've reached the point that I'm just like, dude, whatever happens is going to happen. And there's nothing I can do about it. I'm sitting over here in Portugal. I don't even have the resources to fight a legal battle all the way in the States, because I would. I'm not even joking. You think I wouldn't? If I had the resources, if I was living in the States, like all of the copyright stuff that happens on my channel, I would take each and every one of those entities to court. I might lose, but I would take them to court. I'd be like, dude, you're going to have to waste money. I'm going to make you waste as much money as possible. I've done the same thing to my ISP in Portugal. Like, this ISP screwed me over at one point, and I said, okay, then I don't want your service anymore. They're like, oh, but you have this loyalty agreement. And I said, no, I ain't paying no loyalty fees. I'm done with you. And they took me to court, and I went in there, and I didn't pay a goddamn dime. I told them, I even said them, like, look, I will give twice as much as what you're asking of me. I will give twice as much of that to a goddamn lawyer just so that I don't give it to you. And that would be the same thing that I would do here, except I can't afford $42,000, so I just wouldn't give them anything until they send the FBI to my door, at which point I'll say, okay, so I guess arrest me? I didn't break any Portuguese laws. What are you going to do? Extradite me to America? I don't care, dude. Screw you. Screw all of you. You guys are all full of trash. Like, just seriously. This friggin' COPPA law is nonsense. I mean, the law is not nonsense. Their current enforcement of this law towards content creators, not to mention, here's the other thing. The law itself states that the criminal portion of this, you know, the thing that people are doing wrong, the thing that gives them the right to find people, is collecting data from children. YouTube are the ones collecting the data. I don't have access to it. I don't know nobody's names from people that watch me. I don't know their names. I don't know their addresses. I don't know their emails. I don't know nothing about them other than their YouTube username. So it's like, YouTube's got the information. I don't have any information on any children. I don't know. I don't know anything. So it's like, good luck proving that in a court of law beyond any shadow of a doubt that I have information on the children that subscribe to my channel. Good friggin' luck. Anyway, I think I've ranted long enough. Thank you all very much for watching this far. If you guys enjoyed this video, which I doubt you did, but whatever. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button, subscribe, bell notification icons, all of that usual stuff. Make sure that you follow me on Twitch because, you know, come January, maybe they will come after me. Maybe they'll delete my YouTube channel. Maybe that'll be my penalty. So maybe follow me on Twitch. You can support me there. I might be starting a Patreon. I might be starting a merch store because, you know, I think come January, there's a high probability that the Short Bus UI is going to look at my channel. It's like, it's a whole lot of games in here, man. And games, you know, video games, they're all for children, right? So you're a children's channel. Clearly. See you guys on the next one. Stay strong. May your shields never break.